We're exactly 2 weeks away from brand new Doctor Who, and honestly, it kind of seems like no one's talking about it, apart from, like, hardcore Doctor Who fans. No one seems to be particularly excited about it, or really talking about it, or speculating on it. I think there's multiple reasons for this. Firstly, the BBC One Christmas lineup this year is absolutely insane. You've got Wallace and Gromit, you've got Gavin and Stacey, you've got Outnumbered, you've got all of the Christmas specials from the staples like Casualty and EastEnders and everything like that. So Doctor Who is kind of, I think it's going to get swallowed up by everything else around it. I think it might do very well, but not necessarily off its own merit and its own hype, but because it's just surrounded by a lot of great stuff that evening, like Strictly Come Dancing and Wallace and Gromit. So it might get a lot of residual, like, viewers who are watching it because they just put BBC One on the TV and it's just going to stay on that channel all day if they do turn on the TV that day. Also, because Joy to the World seems like it's just a fun Christmas rollicking good time, there's not actually much to speculate or hypothesize on. Like, there's no big mystery, there's no real, like, casting hype other than Nicola Coughlan, who's awesome and she's been great in other stuff, but there's no, like, who is Nicola Coughlan playing, there's no, like, actual discussion really. Apart from this is just going to be a fun Christmas story, I guess. And also because, like I said, Empire of Death was so bad that it's been months since it broadcast and I've yet to find a single person in real life who said anything nice about it. So that might have dampened some hype for Doctor Who in the near future. However, Russell T Davies appeared on The One Show last night, on the December 10th episode of The One Show. I've not watched this yet. He's guest starring alongside Stacey Solomon and is going to be talking about Doctor Who. Let's have a quick look.
Joe, obviously, Stacey yourself, but Russell, millions of people will, of course, be planning their Christmas day around Doctor
Gavin and
Who.
Stacey. Oh, I see.
It's that annual...
I have not pre-watched, but the fact that even Russell is like, yeah, there's a lot happening that day is kind, you know, I'm not saying I'm always right all the time, but I am implying that.
Moment, you know what I mean? And this episode, it's all surrounded around a very unique hotel.
It's a time hotel. You can book a room there, and the door goes through to anywhere in history. Oh. So what we called it was every Christmas everywhere all at once.
Oh, I could go back to yesterday and watch Joe on EastEnders.
That's it. Yeah. That would be your first choice out of the whole of history. But you can go to the Blitz in World War II, you can go to Pompeii. Oh, Alex, you can go to Llanelli, you can go to Cairo, you can go to anywhere. Just to see it. But obviously it's Doctor Who, there's a secret plan going on with a mysterious briefcase being smuggled upstairs. People are out to end the world. It's very exciting. And Nicola Coughlan's in it. You know Nicola Coughlan?
I love Nicola so
Bridgerton,
much.
there he goes. It's like she's...
Got to give it to Russell, he has a good sense of humour. Oh, yeah, he's definitely got some wit to him. 100%, like 1,000%. He's a very good speaker for these occasions. I mean, if you ask him to write stuff for Doctor Who magazine or in the commentaries, sometimes it's the Russell T Davies please shut up challenge, you know. Ruby's mother was, it turns out she was shrouded by time. Why? Because the plot needed her to be. So, you know, every Doctor bi-generated. That's, you know, sometimes Russell does need to not talk, but in these occasions he does quite well. He's a good speaker. He had that really good interview on BBC Breakfast when the 60th anniversary specials were about to broadcast, but even then a lot of that now is kind of bad in hindsight, him talking about how you don't need to know anything about the series, it's a completely clean slate, it's completely new, and then like so much of this past year everyone just gets betrayed when they watch Empire of Death.
He's like this Christmas's companion with Ncuti Gatwa, and they're gorgeous together. Absolutely gorgeous.
So much to look forward to. Let's take a look at the Doctor and Joy in action.
Doctor.
I mean, clever idea.
I'm going to skip this because this might be content claimed. So let's skip past the clip that we've already seen with the massive, like, overexposed lighting.
Dinosaurs and everything. Do you know what, though? The chemistry between Ncuti and Nicola is amazing. Yeah. Is it everything you were hoping?
It's a delight. Do you know what? We just stood back and let them do it. They knew each other beforehand.
Oh, yeah, you said that. They were friends.
They were kind of mates, and that helps, doesn't it? When you've been slightly put together on a set with complete strangers, aren't you? So that really helps. And anyway, they're both brilliant. They both sizzle together. It's lovely to watch.
Do you find there's an extra pressure?
Liam's right. That is the Children in Need clip that they showed. The fact that they went to the One Show without a, like, exclusive clip, I don't know. I'm not here with, like, a big conspiracy theory. I'm not saying that they're doing this badly or anything, but yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they didn't have, like, anything else to show for this new round of promotion. I don't know.
when, you know...
Maybe, like, I could be overthinking this. Maybe, like, there's some really crazy bonkers stuff in the second half that they just can't possibly allude to. I don't know. We'll see.
And producing a Christmas special.
Will this be the first good dinosaur story since 1975? Are we forgetting dinosaurs in a spaceship? Are we forgetting, gosh, Deep Breath? What other Doctor Who stories have dinosaurs in them?
I suppose you're aware there's more people watching than normal. They are kind of the biggest audience. And it's a really special day. You don't want to spoil it. You want it to be brilliant and fun and exciting and scary and daft all at the same time, because there's nothing worse than something that lets you down. I mean, the whole of Christmas night this year, come on, BBC.
Couldn't they have just given us the clip without the weird exposure? Yeah, they probably should have done that. They play the same clip, but they colour balance it correctly.
You could never let
people
us down,
jumping off
Russell.
towers there, the ITV executives, like just ending it all. Have you seen what they got on? Nothing. It's like the BBC on Christmas night. It's insane.
It is amazing,
it's
isn't
insane.
it?
Moffat's really got a thing for dinosaurs there. Well, I don't even think he has a specific fascination with dinosaurs that's beyond anybody else's fascination with dinosaurs. But I said this on Twitter the other day. Doctor Who does feel like a show. It's not had a brand new writer since 2019, sans the writers for Rogue, and that the writer of the next episode has been writing over 40 episodes since 1999. So, of course, you're going to have all of these recurring themes and recurring trends. For crying out loud, Boom, if I'm counting correctly, was the 4th time that Stephen Moffat has written about a digital afterlife. You know, when you have the old guard who are just refusing to let go of the show, and I guess they're going to be repeating all of these themes, they're going to be repeating all of these ideas, and it makes sense. Like, if you write 40 episodes in the span of like 2 decades, you're going to have some repeating ideas and trends, but it's becoming particularly noticeable now. But yeah, roasting ITV's Christmas lineup. What is ITV's Christmas lineup, if anything? 2 seconds. Does the Radio Times have it yet? Good Morning Britain, Lorraine This Morning, James Martin's Christmas Day, Ainsley's Festive Flavours, The King's Speech, Home Alone 2 at 3:10, Bullseye Christmas Special, which is a repeat, then the ITV News, then Emmerdale, then Coronation Street, then the Chase Celebrity Special, the network premiere of Downton Abbey, A New Era. Oh God, this is a tepid lineup. You dip out maybe from 6:30 to 8 o'clock to watch your soaps Christmas specials, and then that's just kind of it. Oh dear. Like, do people like actually watch like Christmas cooking shows in the afternoon? Like, oh, let's make Christmas dinner at the same time as it's happening on the TV. I feel like everyone just sort of has their own plans for like Christmas cooking, right? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's a different generation. I wonder if the Trump bit will be cut out of Home Alone 2. No, though, they censored me. ITV censored my great appearance. ITV really dropped the ball this year. To be fair, it was like last summer with the SAG-AFTRA strike in America, where the entire TV industry in the UK started completely falling apart. So it's absolutely fine, I guess, in the big cosmic sense that ITV don't have anything ready outside of their soap operas and a couple of daytime TV things for their Christmas schedule. So that's the problem with ITV being a advertiser-funded broadcaster during a cost of living crisis, where the worth of adverts has completely plummeted over the past couple of years because people in the UK are just so poor that they can't afford the things that are being advertised to them. So yeah, it's grim. If you're outside of the UK, I don't think you understand just how grim it is. We're practically a failed state at this point, but we're too polite to point it out.
You know, you've been a lifelong Doctor Who fan.
Yeah.
Is there a Christmas episode that stood out to you?
The one I wish you could see, there was an episode in
Feast of Stephen.
1965.
You're not old enough for us.
So based. Although that's the... Actually, no. It's the least based one. It's the one where William Hartnell is like, this place, it's a madhouse. It's all full of Arabs. It's not good. No, anti-based. It's okay. RTD wants Hartnell to be replaced by AI anyway. It's fine. It's fine.
And I was 2, and that's missing from the archives. It's been wiped. No, it's gone. All they got are people's memories. I'd love to see that.
Oh, you could go back in your time machine.
In my TARDIS.
Yeah.
To that.
Yes, imagine. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, through the door of the Time Hotel, you're
Go
there.
and see it.
Yeah.
Stacey, Christmas Day this year, who controls the remote control in your...
Oh, I'm sorry to say, Russell, but it's mostly kids' TV in our house.
yeah.
It's
Bluey.
very upsetting.
Blue.
Exactly. I mean, lovely. For a couple of minutes of the day.
As you can imagine, Russell, lots of people have been in touch. Chris says, I've been a huge fan of Doctor Who since 1987 and really looking forward to the Christmas special. Ncuti is a brilliant doctor. Long may his run continue.
Oh, thank you, Chris. Much appreciated.
We've also had this one. Matthew has asked, what is your favourite line of dialogue that you've written across all the episodes of Doctor Who?
Oh, a favourite line of dialogue. There's one line
That's a good question.
of dialogue where the Doctor says a footprint doesn't look like a boot.
Oh,
I like that line. I was so
I like
pleased
that
with
line,
that. Do you
yeah.
know, it's
He's
like you
right.
can't tell what a boot looks like from a foot.
Is that Army of Ghosts? A footprint doesn't look like a boot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's the biggest question.
I still don't kind of get what that line means. You know, no one knows what it means, but it's provocative. It gets the people going. Like, chat, am I being dim? This is entirely possible. I am very sleep deprived. I am overworked. It's pretty literal, to be honest. Yeah, in the context of Army of Ghosts, yeah.
The next
Yeah.
series. What can you tell us?
Coming, it's sensational. There's a lot of scares. There's a planet in the far future that's absolutely terrifying. There's a trip
It's Earth. The twist is Earth.
to Miami. It's very, very, very good, and it's coming sooner than you think.
If you need a cameo for the trip to Miami,
Then Jill
I'm your
Swash is
girl.
always
Oh.
free.
I did see the discussion online about it's coming sooner than you think. The prevailing theory is that, you know, it's going to be broadcast around April, May time. But the fact that he says it's coming sooner than you think, I don't think it's coming out early January. If it was, we'd know about it by now, because the BBC have already started talking about their early January lineup. The Traitors, the reality game show starring Claudia Winkleman as the host, that's coming back on New Year's Day. It'll be interesting to know if this does maybe start in like March or April time, earlier on, very similar to what the show did in 2005, because I think one reason why the show didn't get the audience that they were possibly expecting it to was because of the time of year that it was released in. Maybe if they released it a little bit earlier, and also if they want to get the metrics and the data to know if like it's worth reinvesting and if it's worth recommissioning, they want it earlier in the year so that they'll have time to make the next Christmas special for 2025. So if they broadcast it in February or March time, it does well out of the gate and they think, okay, let's do another year. Then they've got 9 to 10 months to, from beginning to end, finish the Christmas special. But we do also have The War Between the Land and Sea, which is, coming out early 2026? Do we actually know when that's happening? I know February half term when it's early in the year and the kids are at home. I don't know. Ask the BBC. They'll probably have better metrics than me. Can someone clip Miss Titus saying it's Earth for the chance the twist is actually that it's Earth? It's Orphan 56. See, they found it funny.
I love it. Come on, Stacey. I'd love you to be in.
I'll hold you to that.
Well, look, Doctor Who will be on BBC One and iPlayer at 5:10 on Christmas Day, and you can also watch Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah.
at the...
Yeah, 5:10. This is the second earliest that Doctor Who has ever broadcast in its 61-year history. The only time that it was earlier was an episode of The Keeper of Traken in 1980, when it broadcast at 8 minutes past 5. So, yeah, because there is so much in the schedule, Joy to the World is broadcasting a lot earlier, which, you know what, for Christmas Day, I think that's good. I can only speak to my own Christmas Day experiences as opposed to other people, but don't you have, like, Christmas dinner at, like, maybe 2 or 3 p.m, and then you eat, and then maybe you sit around and watch something by the fire and watch stuff with the family, and by the time you get to, like, 7 or 8 p.m, you just want to sleep. You just want to have a food coma. So maybe having Doctor Who on earlier in the day is the better move. BBC One Christmas Day. Let's just remind ourselves of that schedule. There's Trolls Holiday in Harmony at 9 a.m, Superworm, Gruffalo's Child, Christmas Morning, Toy Story 3, Minions The Rise of Gru. I think that's the network premiere as well. BBC News at 1, BBC Weather, Tiddler. Then there's The King at 3 o'clock, Weakest Link Christmas Special, Strictly Come Dancing Christmas Special, and then Vengeance Most Foul. If it's anything like 2007, which was the last time Wallace and Gromit had a televised premiere, and it wound up being the #1 most TV event of that year. Doctor Who Joy to the World, expect the last 10 to 15 minutes to get a massive boost in viewership. So hopefully there is a trailer for the next season of Doctor Who attached to the ending of Joy to the World, or it has a very good, accessible and impactful final 10 minutes, because that's where it's going to get its peak viewership for this year, I think. But being sandwiched between Strictly Come Dancing and Wallace and Gromit, I think that's a good time for it. I think that's a good time slot. I think that they've done well to place it there. Any later, and it might be too late, and you don't really want it next to EastEnders, but any earlier in the day, and people aren't going to be around the table to properly watch it. I kind of remember, like, growing up, that the Queen's speech would happen at around 3 o'clock, and then by, like, 3:15 or 3:30, that's when we're sitting down at the table to eat Christmas dinner. That's how I kind of remember it. We didn't really bother watching the Queen's speech, but I just remember it would be on in the background while we're doing finishing touches on the meal and plating up. That's kind of how I remember it. Don't know. Where's Gavin and Stacey on the schedule? It is on at 9 p.m. It's a feature-length finale. It's an hour and a half. It's a post-Watershed show. That's a good Doctor Who meat inside of that sandwich. Yeah. Yeah. I don't have anything else to add for that. I guess posted a clip of this interview, then someone commented, "Woke Christ for clarification," and the outright said it was because the Doctor was black and gay. Yeah, obviously, that is obviously what they mean. They have no need for euphemism anymore. They just hate black people and hate gay people, and also they probably also hate women. Outnumbered on Boxing Day too. Is that when it is? I forgot about Outnumbered. Inside Out, How to Train Your Dragon 3. Paddington, Beauty and the Beast, but the live-action one. The network premiere of Roald Dahl's Matilda the Musical. Call the Midwife Part 2. Blank 2. Yeah, Outnumbered. Yeah, Outnumbered, that's really good. Anything? What's happening on Christmas Eve? Beauty and the Beast Panto. Chicken Run. Peter Rabbit 2. So we can't escape James Corden this Christmas, damn it. Shaun the Sheep, The Flight Before Christmas. Stickman, Moana. Shrek. Ghostbusters Afterlife. Random. Why don't they have the new one? Because that's Frozen Empire. Is that what it's called? Isn't James Corden the finale of Gavin and Stacey? Damn it, I forgot. Gavin and Stacey's so good that you just kind of forget that James Corden is a big part of it. Whoops. So what's on New Year's Eve? Railway Children. Oh, Bernard Cribbins. Black Panther. Graham Norton's New Year's Eve show. Sophie Alex Bextor's New Year's Eve disco. Nice. Okay, fun. I hate to break it to you, but Corden is in Gavin and Stacey too. I'm sorry. I messed up. I flubbed. I saw the easy swipe because Peter Rabbit 2 is on Christmas Eve. I saw the easy swipe, didn't think about it. Okay? That's on me, and I'm so humble, I will apologise. Xmas sucks for horror and metalheads. I can't really speak for metalheads, but for horror fans, no, you've got films like Krampus. You've got Silent Night, Deadly Night. You've got that Violent Night film from a couple of years ago. It's not horror, but, you know, it's counter-programming. If you're a horror fan, you've got loads of Christmas counter-programming. And, I disagree with that.
Christopher Lee has a metal Christmas album.
Christopher Lee? Yeah. So if Yaz has just poked, she saw that I was wrong about something and thought, wait a minute, I need to correct this. Christopher Lee has a metal Christmas album. Yeah? A heavy metal Christmas. One of the songs is called Jingle Hell.
Thrashing as we go in a hearse that knows the way to hell is painful and slow, crying all the day.
Christopher Lee's A Heavy Metal Christmas.